we could talk more about it later as the Secretary General's here. So.
At this moment, I'd like to give the floor to Sean Coe.
Welcome, distinguished members, to our summit on giving it back and passing it on, where our goal is to connect the smartest, most talented next-generation leaders with the next-generation wealth holders to collaborate on tackling some of the world's most challenging problems. You have already taken the first step. You have made the commitment by coming here. The part that is missing is the cooperation and collaboration of our community's members. Globally, we can work together to educate, refine, promote, and execute the solutions to the world's most significant issues. Everyone knows there are too many charities in the world. Just here in the United States alone, there are over 1 million charities. It is unfortunate, but the plethora of charities makes it difficult to navigate effectively amongst the vast array of charitable causes. In fact, the sheer number of charities is an obstacle to the efficient allocation of donated capital. No longer should we be hopeful in others, but we ourselves shall become the hope. No longer should we depend on others' promises, but we ourselves shall become the model for reliability and integrity. It is us and no one else. Let's make the difference. Let's save our world. Today we face a number of grave crises, and John and Sigrid alluded to them a little bit before. As they said, over 22,000 children die every day around the world. Over 8 million children under the age of 5 die from malnutrition and preventable diseases. Some 1.1 billion people in developing countries have inadequate access to water and basic healthcare systems. And as John alluded to, 2.6 billion lack basic sanitation. Climate change is already having an impact on biodiversity and is projected to become progressively worse in the coming decades. Since 1970, the pressure we exert on the planet has almost doubled, and natural resources upon which depend have declined by more than 33%. Around the world, stock markets have fallen and large financial institutions have collapsed or been bought out, even in some of the wealthiest countries. Globally, military expenditure stands at over $1.6 trillion and has been rising in recent years. And finally, over the past decade, the world has experienced some of the most severe and most frequent natural disasters in recorded history. And the list goes on and on. And you know what? We can't ignore it. If anything, it is our collective responsibility to confront it head on. As we can all imagine, the solution to these types of problems are not simple, but complex. Their solutions extend beyond just money or just ideas. But in order to solve these problems, it requires from us the best of both. And that is a process we intend to start here and continue to the generations that come after us. Let us all find the common thread woven into the fabric of our diverse lives. The part of us that cringes when we hear these statistics read aloud. Our inner conscience that wants us to become more than we can be, not for our own selfish gain, but so we can systematically and gradually reverse the direction of these statistics and eventually, once and for all, eradicate them altogether. Our community is in the best position to make a difference on each and every one of these issues. We are the next generation of leaders, investors, and philanthropists. As you can see, conceptually, we can solve the world, but the question is politically, financially, and actually, will we? It is with the utmost gratitude that I thank you all for making a deliberate choice to become a long-lasting part of history. And we are all familiar with the phrase, actions speak louder than words. And you have shown it by coming on your own dime, sacrificing your own time, not only in word, but also in action. We have all been tremendously blessed, and now it is time for us to become the blessings ourselves. It is time for those who have the vision to give sight to those whose eyes are clouded with pessimism and fear. It is time for those who have the resources to provide for those who are starved of opportunity. It is time for those who have the experience to collaborate and come up with the best available processes to realize the vision within the resources we have. Considering this, we can think of no one better to kick off our 3-day summit than the esteemed Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, whose priorities have been to mobilize world leaders around a new set of global challenges. From climate change and economic upheaval to pandemics and increasing pressures involving food, energy, and water. He has sought to be a bridge builder, to give a voice to the world's poorest and most vulnerable people, and to strengthen the United Nations organization itself. According to UN Ambassador Mr. Nelson Masone, the Secretary General has remarkably, with all objectivity and independence, worked on every continent to promote peace, justice, and international security, sometimes particularly in difficult and trying circumstances. And as a testament to this, we should all congratulate him, a belated congratulation. The Secretary General was unanimously elected to a second term earlier this year. Distinguished members of this summit, without further ado, please join me in welcoming His Excellency, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon.
Thank you, Mr. Sean Ko, for your very kind introduction and very inspiring what you have been saying. That's exactly what United Nations is trying to achieve. Mr. John Krug, a philanthropist and entrepreneur, Ms. Rita Roy, President and CEO of MasterCard Foundation, Ms. Monica Coleman, UN Youth Champion, and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and thank you for joining us today. I'm very impressed by being here with such a distinguished group of young leaders.